2018 is gone and everything is worse now. For those of you who didn't understand that reference, then shame, go watch BoJack Horseman. And for those of you who still don't understand, 2018 was kind of a ghost of a year for media, wasn't it? This year was kind of lame for movies when you think about how 50 Shades of Grey still existed, but there were still some great films out there like the long-awaited Infinity War, Incredibles 2, Spider-Verse, and my personal favorite movie of the year, Won't You Be My Neighbor, the Mr. Rogers documentary that everyone needs to watch, like, right the fuck now. I quit mainstream music after 2014, so of course I was enjoying sitting in my corner listening to that weak-ass indie shit that everyone seems to hate.
And you would hide away and find your peace of mind with some indie record that's much cooler than mine.
Yeah, fuck you too, Taylor. And I've been in catch-up land for books and Western comics, completely ignoring anything new and favoring the old. But at least it was a pretty dope year for anime. Was there once again too much anime? Yes. Do I think it was the best year yet? No. 2014 still holds a special place in my heart for best year of anime this decade. But this year started off with a bang and it felt like a celebration looking back on it. Not only was there an abundance of classic anime and manga being remade for a new generation after at most 50 years, but we also received long-awaited anime announcements for beloved mangas. New studios popped up throughout the year to show their stuff and that they were more than just a helpful side branch. And the year started swinging with a variety of shows that anyone can enjoy. There was something for everyone. Yuris, yaois, moes, isekai that didn't suck, romances, comedies, shows that ask complicated questions, and that one dark and fucked up one that just makes me appreciate Japan so much more. And as always, I watched a lot of them, and I am once again here to recommend my 10 best of the year. Like all of my lists, I don't believe in ranks because I recommend all of these shows equally, and just because one is above another doesn't mean that you have to watch it sooner. Yet, also like these videos, my final entry is my #1 pick for anime of the year, and I'll be making a video explaining why that is at a later date. However, unlike last year's video, I won't be including an honorable mentions section because I just don't feel like it. I watched a lot of anime in 2018 and I just don't want to select 5 shows that I happen to enjoy and call it a day while throwing the rest away. I also don't feel like wasting time to add in a useless honorable mentions section. I feel like I can be more productive and give myself self-justification on why I wasted my time with this stupid gay-ass Japanese anime bullshit by making a separate video going over all the other anime I watched the past year along with all the other comics I read. As a final reminder, and I feel as though this goes without saying, I didn't see everything that came out last year, and chances are you won't be seeing your favorite shows in this video or the honorable mentions video. I love, appreciate, and read every comment I receive from you and highly encourage you to comment your own best list in the doobly-doo or tweet it at me at CallMeRENS. With that being said, welcome to my recommendations for my 10 best anime of 2018.
げた箱響く雨音傘なくかけ出すシャツが濡れる
After the Rain is the anime that stuck with me the most when it comes to critical thinking. And I'm not just talking about in that lame-ass reviewer kind of way, but in a real-world situation. This anime could have easily been one of the most offensive this year, blacklisted and shunned by viewers if the subject was approached in a different manner by a writer looking to make grotesque fan service. After the Rain deals with a controversial topic that makes many of us uncomfortable to think about. A young 17-year-old girl falls in love with a 45-year-old man who can and will easily pass as her father. On the surface, that sounds really bad and will turn many people off. However, if you gave the anime a chance, you will find a story with emotional depth and complicated questions. You don't want these characters to be together because of the age gap. A horrible one at that, because Akira is still a minor, a young naive girl who is inexperienced in every sense of the world. And then there's Masumi, her boss, who she's head over heels over, and although he politely rejects her, she continues to try and get close to him. These characters are nice people, good people, trying their best to make the most out of their situation, and the show doesn't demonize them for their relationship. When it's revealed why these two would want to be together as more than just friends, it hits, and it hits hard because of how reasonably selfish these characters are when we all know that a relationship like this isn't going to work out. That's what After the Rain does and how it gets you. It asks why instead of how, like how I've seen most writers tend to do when it comes to these kinds of relationships. Why would a girl fall for this man? Why would he accept this girl? Why does Akira not think pursuing this relationship is wrong when she believes herself to have nothing but good intentions? The answers aren't spoon-fed to you. Instead, it challenges you to find your own conclusion. As the anime goes on, you realize how tragic these two human beings' lives are and can't blame them for their actions or their thoughts and feelings because, well, if I keep talking, I'm going to spoil something. After the Rain is as interesting as it is surprisingly comforting and genuinely sweet. The audience for After the Rain is a subject. It's made for everyone, and I highly recommend giving it a watch if you have 4 hours to spare to think about something that you normally wouldn't.
どれだけ離れているのかな君の面影思い出すふとした時に
This is my favorite comedy anime of the year. I'm sorry, Pop Team Epic, you are a beautiful, wonderful shitpost and we don't deserve you, and I can't wait for season 2.
Your life has been spared.
But Hinamatsuri just has everything I want in a good comedy. At first glance, Hinamatsuri is a comedy that runs on Looney Tunes logic. It's a show about a middle school-aged girl with psychic powers so powerful and dangerous that the people who were experimenting on her in the future that she came from said, yeah, no, fuck this, we're done with her, we could die? So let's send her to the past so she can fuck shit up elsewhere. So she lands in the apartment of a bachelor Yakuza member, wrecks his shit, goes to a bar, and has a bunch of grown men forming a line shouting, "Gentleman Club." The second episode was fucking beautiful. However, as the anime continues and the more characters and the story is introduced, Hina proves itself to have as much heart as it does character. Hinamatsuri turns into a story that follows 3 different girls who form an unlikely friendship, while also having a genuine and touching message about parenthood and being a foster parent. As the anime evolves, it maintains its quality throughout. You end up coming to this show more for the characters than for the laughs, while the laughs are still incredibly funny, and there's some actually really good dark humor that I obviously laughed at the most. However, Hinamatsuri did something only one anime before achieved doing to me years ago. It made me want to cry multiple times. Because, as I said, this show has emotion and heart, and it shines through when it needs to in the best moments of this anime. And look, I agree with you. Yes, you, looking at the screen saying that Anzu should have been main character, and look, Anzu is best girl and daughter of the year. But damn it, if these characters weren't diverse and memorable, if these jokes weren't clever and funny, if the animation didn't give us some grade A reactions, yeah, no, this is a damn good comedy anime that I highly recommend. It's another show that's for everyone if you're needing of a good laugh, especially after Honda-san wrapped up. The dub from Funimation is also great, so check it out with some friends and some booze while you're at it, and just have a good time. That is Anime of the Year 2018. I have a question for you. Have you ever been young and wanted to escape? It doesn't matter what age you were. You could have been a kid under the blankets or a bored teen in class, and there was something inside of you, like a small spark that wanted you to do something crazy before you became too old and regret not doing it. Maybe it was a sense of adventure, excitement, or just pure whimsy. I think A Place Further Than the Universe was made for that reason. It was made at a core to remind people of that spark and inspire them to let it out. Or maybe I'm just speaking from my own experience, but I truly believe that's what it is. This is a show about loss, companionship, moving on, and even redemption. The main characters in this anime are 4 high school girls with distinct personalities. One wants to do something exciting, one for a job, one because she wants to help and do something before college, and one for the most personal reason out of all of them, to find closure after losing her mother to a raging blizzard in Antarctica. On the surface, that sounds like a typical anime, anime, no teenagers can ever plan to make the journey from Japan to Antarctica, but the writers of this anime didn't want this show to run on anime logic. They find reasonable ways for these girls to make this journey befitting their limits and personalities. This anime isn't cute girls doing cool things. It's an anime about the journey these girls take beyond their universe of their bedroom, their classroom, their part-time job, their youth, and how it defines and shapes them as they grow into young women entering adulthood. And damn it, if it didn't make me want to cry with each episode, and if it wasn't for that heart-pulling ED alone, it was because this anime is so beautifully written that everything resonates with you. It's grounded, realistic, and gripping in every sense of the word. This is an uplifting yet heartbreaking anime that will make you want to run away with the wind and do something exciting, to tell the people who hold you down fuck you in their face and do something that does matter to you. Because if 4 teenage girls can go to Antarctica, then you can dare to do something just as insane. Yes, Studio Madhouse, I will forgive you for that kick in the balls you gave me. Thank you for this anime. I'm sorry, I am so sorry. I don't put sequels on these lists because they're a continuation of an existing show unless they stand out from its parents, which is what Golden Wind is. However, also like a sequel, fans of JoJo are already watching Golden Wind, so only viewers who have seen JoJo can watch this anime. But the biggest sin I'm committing by putting Golden Wind on this list is that it's still ongoing! And I don't give a fuck because, damn it, I just really fucking love Golden Wind. The 5th installment of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure series, Golden Wind, takes us to Italy in the year 2001. Our 5th generation JoJo is named Giorno Giovanna, and because he's an Italian fuck, his JoJo name is spelled like this. Giorno never had a happy childhood. His mother neglected him as a baby, and his stepfather would beat him when she wasn't around. However, Giorno's life was forever changed when he met and saved a man who was a powerful member of a gang. The man gave orders that ensured that the abuse would cease, and Giorno was fully protected from bullies and the like. Inspired by the actions of a man who would normally be seen as a monster due to his job, Giorno settled on his life's ambitions to become not a gangster, but a gang star. In the first 12 episodes of Golden Wind, we witness Giorno starting at the very bottom of his endeavors to dethrone the big man up top and taking control of the gang that controls his hometown. He passes a test to join the organization, joins the group of the man who once attacked him with murderous intent but is now helping him reach his goal. He and his 5 other teammates travel to find a hidden treasure of a higher-up, protect the unseen boss's daughter, who has also never seen her father, and retrieve the golden key while fighting a stand named Man in the Mirror, and it's exactly what it sounds like, and oh god, I love that fight. And this being JoJo, none of it is as easy as it sounds. It's going to take an entire video for me to explain why I really love Golden Wind and why it may be my new favorite animated JoJo arc right down to the final detail when the season finishes airing. For now, let's just say that I love when media evolves and it experiments or looks at a new perspective to keep things fresh. And as much as Golden Wind is a game changer and a turning point for the series, it also resonates with me in a way that this series has never done before as someone who also comes from a shitty fucking city that I'm forced to call home. I only recommend JoJo's Bizarre Adventures to those who have the sanity and the stomach for it. There are some pretty fucked up scenes in this show, and if you can't get past the first dog death, I can't blame you. You cannot just jump into Golden Wind, or any arc of JoJo to be exact. You have to start from the beginning with Part 1 Phantom Blood from 2002 and work your way through the 100 plus episodes of JoJo. I think that with the new season currently airing, now is a good time because by the time you catch up, you'll have one more season of this madness to enjoy. Also, Misa is best boy. He's so OCD, he's completely understanding of other people's OCD, and that's adorable. Also, holy fuck, that dance scene was fucking fire, my Joe stars!
知らない言葉を覚えてゆくたび面影の中 手を伸ばすの
Originally, Violet Evergarden was one of the honorable mentions of the year, flipping between that list and the main list. I was content with leaving it on the honorable mentions list for several reasons, culminating into a much larger one. None of these characters are fleshed out as I wanted them to be, but I still enjoyed them. Episode 10 was an absolutely perfect episode of anime and is well deserving of your 24 minutes as you can watch it as a standalone episode. The world had a wonderful aesthetic and a setting of a peaceful post-war country enjoying sweet victory, and the heartwarming message about how a simple handwritten letter can contain more feeling and heart than an email or a text message. Considering this, I still didn't believe Evergarden was able to make it onto the main list because it didn't hit me in that way I'm looking for. The way each anime has that makes it stands out and lets me know that I loved it and am going to remember it for a very long time. However, as I thought about Evergarden some more and as I did so over the course of 2 days, it finally hit me. I will never know. I will never know what it's like driving down a paved neighborhood road and being scared shitless of hitting a landmine. I will never know how unimportant it is to shop for groceries after eating small rations in a war-torn country. I will never know what it's like to carry the body of the fallen just to get them home to their family, or to hear fireworks and hear the terrifying sound of gunshots and screaming. And I hope that I will never have to know that. Brave men and women, heroes of war, have come out and shared their stories about what it was like to watch Evergarden, how accurate an anime about a child soldier and war vet was to portraying the real-life horrors of war. And as someone who has never seen or have been in combat, average viewers can feel that as well, how bloody and horrific the battlefield is due to the gruesome portrayal of Evergarden's senseless war. Violet is a tragic hero as vets return home and have to go through a period of readjustment. Violet had to adjust. She was brought up as a weapon, trained to kill, and couldn't speak, read, or write until she was about 7 or 10 years old. If it wasn't for the kindness of a man and his friends, she would still be an emotionless fool. And thanks to that person and those people, these characters who were both literally and figuratively mechanic learned how to express herself and become as something more than a machine. However, she's also forced to learn and experience basic human emotions without the guidance of the man who saved her. It's haunting to think about this anime more than it is depressing or uplifting, because I can still hear Violet's silent scream of raw agony ring in my ears when I think about her and her story while under the cover of darkness. There are very few sports anime that I'm willing to watch. Out of the 3 that I do admittedly enjoy, 2 of them can be boiled down to the fan service, while the other for the plot and the plot. I originally watched Megalobox because I heard the soundtrack, saw the animation, and instantly knew this anime was for me. And of course, I wasn't disappointed. There are a handful of reasons as to why I enjoyed Megalobox just as I did. It has the second best OST of the year. The animation was fantastic, striking the perfect balance of old yet not too new. The boxing felt real and raw, being well thought out, choreographed, weighted, and timed. As a Detroiter, I would be solely disappointed if I got shitty boxing animation. These characters were lovable with likable personalities and believable motivations. Everyone had depth, development, and better yet, they weren't flawless. Even the fucking kid was likable. However, the main reason I loved Megalobox as much as I did came from Joe and his rivalry with Yuri. This is one of the best rivalries and underdog stories I've seen in anime. Joe is a boxer from the slums looking for a good fight, and he finds that in the champion Yuri. However, Joe is so cocky and confident in his skills that after an illegal match, he gets his ass handed to him and refuses to accept it. So he forges an entry into a boxing tournament and works his way up the ladder just to face his rival again and prove himself as more than a stray dog looking for a bone. Not to Yuri, not to his partner, listeners or the world or even himself, he just wants a good fight because he knows that he's good. These two have a mutual respect for each other. They admire their skills and box because they love boxing. It's the perfect matchup and they know that they were meant for each other. And I love that so damn much. I love how this isn't just another sports anime about, grr, I gotta beat the bad guy, or I'm a teenager with nothing better to do, so I find myself through sports. This is something different. This is something adult, and it's exactly what I want to look for in a sports anime. Not teenagers, not pretentious assholes, not forced drama. Megalobox has the drama, it has the characters, it has the respect, but above all else, it has skill. Pure, raw, unadulterated skill, and it doesn't have to prove that because it knows it has just that.
What's your real name, kid? They can't put your ring name on a tombstone.
No one makes tombstones for stray dogs.
感情がキラキラ今はキラキラあなただけが全てさこの甘い世界嘘になるようなそれ以外のことなんて消してしまう
In a world of lackluster modern horror anime, there are only two that are worth your time that comes to mind. One of them, to me personally, is not Shiki. I know that everyone and their dog loves Shiki and regards it as one of, if not the best horror anime this decade, but I really fucking hate Shiki and think it's a giant vat of wasted potential. My picks for best horror anime goes to 2015's School Live for the heart-pumping thriller and mind-breaking psychological horror, and my second pick is Happy Sugar Life. In case you haven't noticed, I'm the type of person who enjoys dark and fucked up shit, and every once in a while I need my fix from something besides fanfiction. Bless the anime gods for giving me this fucking insane show that actually managed to scare me. I think I loved everything about Happy Sugar Life. I love the uncomfortable relationship between Sato and Shio. I love how Sato isn't a yandere but an actual believable sociopath. I love how every human being in this anime ranges from a little bit fucked up to downright scum. And damn, this was the first anime from a brand new studio? The craft of this anime, how well handled scenes I would usually roll my eyes at are, how they catch you off guard to deliver a great scare at just the right time, how they find creative ways to portray fear and tell this story to make you as uncomfortable as possible. God damn, it was a ride! And this anime isn't for everyone. It's uncomfortable and will make you feel gross a lot. Due to the graphic nature and subject matter, I cannot wholeheartedly recommend this anime without issuing some actual medical trigger warnings. And if I do issue them, I'm spoiling the damn show. The struggle is that real, people. For me, this was the fix I needed, and I enjoyed every second of it. Happy Sugar Life is best enjoyed alone, in the dark, under the covers, where no one can get you, but she'll find you anyway. I love a good moe show, but my tastes are rather strict. And by strict, I mean I don't just want to watch another show about cute girls doing cute things just to sell cheap toys. To me, there's a certain art in moe, an art that, let's just come right out and say it because we all know it's true, Lucky Star has long since perfected, but so few can seem to replicate. Initially, I didn't believe the hype around Eurocamp because that hype mainly came from people whose job it was to promote it, and every time I looked on Twitter, my timeline seemed pretty quiet about it. I only watched the show out of obligation, and before I knew it, 4 hours had passed and I already missed the hell out of it and wanted to watch it again. Eurocamp gave me that same sense of adventure and running away as Universe did, with likable characters who had enjoyable personalities and realistic dilemmas that you cared about because they cared about them. Even Kagemihara, a character I would usually dislike, somehow became one of the best characters in the show. But not best girl. Rin will always and forever be best girl. Also, there are dogs! 10 out of 10, must bet. I enjoyed Eurocamp for one simple reason. This is the most comfy anime of the year. It's an anime that's exactly what it sounds like, a well-paced, quiet show with a wonderful atmosphere and characters that complement it very well. Those obstacles that I mentioned don't take away from the relaxing, chill, lo-fi hip-hop beats to chill out study to tone of the show, because they're just small roadblocks that are simple to overcome. Most importantly, the backgrounds and the settings are wonderful. It reminds you how beautiful nature, when untouched, can be, and why you should appreciate and enjoy it while also respecting the land, as how our characters demonstrate. I didn't expect to enjoy Yuru Camp. I didn't expect to relax as much as I did with Yuru Camp. I didn't expect to be grabbed and whisked away to another part of the world by Yuru Camp, but I did, and I'm glad I watched it, and I'll be watching and enjoying it many more times in the coming future.
どこまでも前へ好きな深く口ずさんで feel so
You've been waiting for this. If you know me, and you know me well, this is the one that you've been waiting for. At the start of the year, I was apprehensive to call Devilman Crybaby Anime of the Year because it just felt too soon. 2018 had only just started, and Netflix, of all places, had come out of the gate swinging with one of the most entertaining and dark rides of the year. While I still wanted to wait and see what the rest of the year had entail, I would be lying if I didn't say that Crybaby for a period of time had earned its spot as #1. It would have gotten a perfect 10 out of 10 if that animation sequence in episode 9 wasn't so horrendous, but still, I never knew what Devilman was, nor have I sung the praises of Go Nagai before Crybaby. I was more than content to leave the show alone and forget about it, especially being confused as all hell by the fan service Cyborg 009 vs. Devilman OVA. However, after learning that it was a hard reboot of the original anime and manga and seeing hints of hype on my Twitter, I said, fuck it, I got time, sat down, gave it a watch, and my mind exploded. Devilman Crybaby is animation and rebooting at its finest. It's an unapologetically violent, gory, sexy acid trip of animation. The story has themes of sex, lust, love, friendship, loss, family, betrayal, religion, and at its core, my favorite, conflicting ideals and philosophy. Basically everything Chiki was missing, which was made it suck so much. Anyway, as a reboot, Crybaby is stunning. Directed by Masaki Uesa, who finally got some damn recognition from this fucking community. His previous works include Ping Pong the Animation, last year's Lou Over the Wall and Night of Short Walk On Girl, and the tragically underrated Tatami Galaxy. Give us a Blu-ray release, Funimation, you cowards! Uesa and his team treated this anime and the guy's work with nothing but respect. While the animation is representative of Uesa's own style and techniques, he never strayed from the guy's penmanship. If the anime wasn't on Netflix but TV, the team would have to tone down the graphic content, betraying the guy's attempt to get away with as much as he could in a shonen manga. The writing only updated and changed what needed to be for modern audiences while staying true to the core themes of the story and the subjects that it played with. And the brilliant man included references to works made by creators who were also inspired by Nagai. Oh god, Uesa, thank you for my fix. The bread you and your team presented me with was spectacular. Of course, Devilman isn't for everyone. If you can't handle the graphic content of the anime, then I would advise you to stay away. However, at the same time, you're missing something truly special here. It's not every day you get something like Crybaby, especially not as a reboot. By the time this video comes out, Devilman will be a year old, and that's a lot of time on the internet, so don't let the quiet fool you. With only 10 episodes, Devilman Crybaby is adult animation and storytelling at its finest, and afterwards, you can buy the Blu-ray of the original anime and reprint of the manga. It's an amazing watch, and it's even better the second time around, where you'll be able to pick up on the little hints and references to later events. So please, for the love of God, please go watch Devilman Crybaby. If not for me, then do it for Uesa, or Nagai, or that fucking banger of a soundtrack that's the best of the year. I'm pretty sure it's safe to say that 2018 wasn't a fun year, with the effects of global warming kicking into gear, people losing their lives and homes to fires, children being ripped away from their families due to senseless violence, and God, don't get me started on elections and politics. I think that as humans, our brains order us to seek out comforts in order to distress before breaking down. We all need a break before returning to the harsh realities of life. However, we can't ignore how much life sucks. 2018 had one of the hardest moments of my life. It resulted in a complete mental shutdown where I wanted to die or kill the people who were so shitty to me. If it wasn't for the most important person in the world to me, the light of my life, my girlfriend, for dropping everything and driving 13 hours to save me and take me and my dog far away from the place I used to call home for a week's rest, I don't know what I would have done. Since then, I've taken comfort in other things: her, friends, family, my dog, escapist fantasies, and of course, media. When shit got hard for me again and I didn't want to burden anyone with my bullshit, there was one show that I would watch and think back to. One show that I took extreme amounts of comfort in and gave me the reminder that I needed, that I wasn't alone, and that I was still loved by others. And that show is my anime of the year 2018.
Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the floor. Let the bodies hit the
When I first saw the trailer for Aggretsuko, I immediately knew I was going to love it, but I didn't think I would love it this much. If you told me that Sanrio, the fucking Hello Kitty company of all people, made one of the most down-to-earth and relatable animes of 2019, I would have called bullshit. However, here's fucking Aggressive Retsuko, an adult anime about a 25-year-old female red panda who hates her life, her boss, her job, and vents it all through death metal. If you've seen Aggretsuko, then you've probably seen over a dozen videos singing the show to the high heavens, so much so that it seems like there's nothing left to be said. However, to me, that doesn't matter. I'm still going to make an effort to explain exactly why I love this show so much, and as promised, that will be in a future video. Until then, I've been talking way too much, and I have a video on comics to make, along with many other things, because I'm an angry nerd who doesn't know when to shut the fuck up. Until then, happy 2019, you freaks and geeks, dorks and weebs. This year is gonna suck. Nothing will be better unless we take a stand, which we probably won't. Human beings are doomed, everything is awful, and that's okay. Fuck it.